Hello, hello. Well, it's a dreary, rainy day this morning. I thought it'd be a good time to make a video and do a little story time and tell all of you about how I met my wife. So, this was 2007. I was 31 years old, and I was working a lot during the summertime. During the spring and summer, I had one day off a week, working in a restaurant on the harbor in Destin, Florida, and I would work 60 to 70 hours a week. And in order to make as much money as I could, because the winter was very slow, so you had to make your money in the spring and summer to carry you over to the fall and winter, and that's just the way things worked. So now there was a guy who lived in Bulgaria, and he had gotten a work visa to come and work for the summer, and had worked with us at the restaurant a couple of years prior to this. And he and I had stayed in contact with each other, and he wanted me to help him get a job working the summer again at the restaurant where I worked. So I helped him to be rehired to work another summer there. We had a lot of people who would work just for the summer, just for the season. A lot of college kids that wanted to spend their summer at the beach and make a little bit of money. And so it was my job to train 30 to 50 people every year. And a lot of them, it was their first job. So anyway, he came to work with us for his second time, and he was a good worker. And one day after work, he said, "Hey, you got to come with me to the house. We have a nice house this time that we're staying in for the summer." So after work, we went to his place, and it wasn't like right on the beach, but it was close to the beach. And it was a large house. I don't remember how many bedrooms it had. I think it had 5 bedrooms. I think it was like 5 bedrooms and 4 baths. And I'm sure my wife will correct me once she sees this. But anyway. So he and I, there's really nothing in the place. It's just like a futon downstairs. And no, I don't remember any other furniture. And me and him are just sitting on the futon, and we're talking and listening to some music. And as we're hanging out, different girls, young women, start coming down the stairs and into the area where we are. And it's just like one by one till there's like 7 of them. And a lot of them are dressed to go to sleep. And so I'm kind of looking at him like, is there a party? What's happening? And he was like, roommates. So turned to find out, the way I remember, he had 7 girls, 7 young women that were his roommates, and he had like 2 guys, and they were all sharing this big house for the summer, splitting the cost of everything. And they were all from Bulgaria, working through the summer on work visas. Well, my wife, who is my wife now, she was one of the girls. And as he and I are talking and hanging out, I couldn't help but notice her just kind of off to herself. She was had her back leaned against the wall, and she's just hanging out over there. And so I thought that she was very pretty, and you know, I wanted to meet her, so I went over to and started talking to her. You know, just to get to know her, to find out about her. And her English was good, but she had to talk slowly, and I was sure to give her time to process what I was saying. When I would speak to her, I would speak very clearly, and I would try to use simple words that I thought that she could translate, and I would try to give her time to translate what I was saying. And I think she really appreciated that. And so we talked for a while, and it went well. And then it was time for me to leave because, of course, I had to work again the next day. And so I went home, and over the next week, I was thinking about her, and I was thinking, you know, that I wanted to go back to the house, and I wanted to figure out some kind of way to ask her out on like a real date. And along the time that I'm having these thoughts, my friend, who, you know, has came to work there, the one that, you know, from Bulgaria, he comes in, and he is not in a good mood. He is like very frustrated and agitated, and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, these guys, man, these guys are always coming to the house for the girls, all times of the day and the night. And like, he's just so irritated because, you know, so many guys are coming to the house to try to date these young women. Well, I didn't want to be one of those guys, you know, and I didn't see a way that I could go and ask her out without being one of those guys. So I kind of felt defeated on that. Well, like so many times in my life, I just focused on work. I hadn't been with anyone or dated in months, and I was just focused on work before this, and so I was back to being focused on work again. And then towards the end of the summer, there's only like 3.5, 4 weeks maybe left at the most. He says, hey, we're having a party. One of the girls it's her birthday, and we're having a birthday party, and, you know, you should come. So I said, okay. So I went to the birthday party, and first we went to his house where all the girls lived and everything, and we left in several vehicles, and then we stopped at another large house where another group of people who were working for the summer, some of them were from Romania and Moldova and Bulgaria. We stopped there to pick up more people, you know, to go to the beach. We're going to go to the beach in the evening and have this birthday party for this girl. So when I'm coming out of the second house, I look, and Radostina, who is now my wife, she's leaning on my car, and her friend is taking her picture. And I thought to myself, what an opportunity. I now have an opportunity to ask her out, you know. So I went over to her, and, you know, and said it was my car, and I asked her if she wanted to ride with me to the beach, and she did. So, you know, we rode together to the beach, and we talked, and I asked her, you know, how the summer had been going and everything. And then when we got to the party, her and we walked along the beach, and we talked, and I mean, we had a good chemistry. We really hit it off, and I didn't have to work the next day, and she didn't either. So we went out on a date the next day. And we dated for the next 2 weeks of her being there for the summer. And then it was time for her to go back to Bulgaria. And she left and she went back to Bulgaria, and we would email and text each other, try to stay in touch. And I was thinking about her a lot, and I really thought to myself, you know, if this is going to be anything, if there's any kind of opportunity here, I need to do something to see if this can happen. You know, I need to plan something. So I got a second job, because again, now we're moving into the slow season. I got a second job and saved up my money. And excuse me, my mouth's so dry. And I got a plane ticket and a engagement ring, and I flew to Bulgaria to meet her and her family. And I was there for a week. Everything went fantastic. I mean, it was such a nice trip. We had such a great time together, such a great connection. And I think it was the night before I was leaving, or 2 nights before I was leaving, I got the ring out and I said, look, I know that this is strange because we really haven't known each other that long, but I'm looking for someone to build my life with. I think that person is you, that we could have a great life together. And I'm going to give you this ring, and I'm going to go back to America. And I'm going to start making arrangements for you to come and for us to be together. And you don't have to say yes or no right now. I said, I just want you to take the ring, and you'll have plenty of time to make up your mind what you want to do. So I got on a plane and left, and I came back, and I hired an attorney to help, process the paperwork for her to come over for her visa. It's a fiance visa for her to come over here and get married. And 9 months later, she got on a plane and she came to America, left everything she'd ever known behind, all of her family and friends, to come and be with me and build a life with me. And they did not allow her to work in the beginning. And we went through a lot of hard times. But those stories are maybe for another day. The thing about it is that after 15 years, still together, still madly in love, I have 2 beautiful children, and having her to share this life with is definitely the best part. So, all of you out there, if you are blessed enough to find the true person to spend your life with, and you're really truly blessed. You need someone that you can be yourself with, someone you can trust, and you need to work together to build a strong foundation, because things are not always going to be good. But if you've got that strong foundation, that love, that trust, in your relationship, then there's nothing that can stop you. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my story. It wasn't too boring. But I love our story. I love my wife. Wherever you are, I hope that you're having a good day and enjoy the day you have.